Hey guys, we're here at E3. It's the final day, but I've managed to finally get the one-on-one and get the interview for a game I'm very excited for. It is, of course, the beautiful Assassin's Creed Unity. And with Nicolas, thank you so much for talking to us. Now, I want to start off with talking about where the game is set. We know it's the French Revolution. Right. So how do the Templars fit into that? Because, you know, we've always been fighting with Templars.
Well, that's a great question. Actually, the Templars fit into the French Revolution very well, because the French Revolution is about a turning point of events where, you know, they have chaos, and in the hand of the people, you can take the power, basically. Whereas on the other hand, you have people trying to control the revolution. So it's really a power struggle between a society model which is really free, where everyone can do whatever they want, and another model in which like everything is controlled. So it's really interesting for us. This was a very cool playground narratively for us. Yeah.
Now we're coming out of Black Flag, which we could sail. Like the world was huge. We could sail between these beautiful islands. Where's this set? Are we just set in the one city? And if so, how are we making that big enough?
Right. So it's set in one city, which is Paris, of course, obviously, and it's the biggest city we've ever made in AC. It's the whole of Paris in itself is 3 times as big as all of AC4 Black Flag's dry landmass, so it's really massive. We have 7 very, very, very different districts. You know, Paris is one of the cities where you can live for a year and do something different every day, and I really wanted to convey that feeling, you know, into the game. And plus, us being a French company doing a French time period about a French capital, it was an added pressure to make it right. And in addition to Paris, you also have the village of Versailles and the castle itself. So we also get to see a glimpse of what the grandeur of the old monarchy was.
Yeah. So I'm finally going to get to go to the Palace of Versailles.
Right. Not just Notre Dame, but also Versailles. Yeah.
You know, we did see Notre Dame in our walkthrough, which we didn't see on stage at the conference. Yeah. Now, tell us a bit about it, because there's some incredible facts behind Notre Dame, the one that you guys have built.
Right. So Notre Dame is the biggest landmark we've ever built. It's the first one-on-one, absolutely real scale building we've ever had. It's 4 times as big as AC Brotherhood Coliseum, so it's really massive, and it's also made inside out. It took a whole year for an artist to do the cathedral inside out. Yes. And it's the case for every landmark we have in game. We have almost 38 of them. In addition to landmark, we also have houses interiors, we have underground networks, we have catacombs, so the whole player space is extremely huge to discover and to explore now.
So we've got to keep this city alive. Now, I noticed when we were playing, there's loads of NPCs at Revolution, people are gathering. Right. Tell us how you've worked with that, because I heard there's an incredible amount of NPCs that can be sort of on the screen.
We can go up to 5,000 NPCs on screen, many of them being AIs, basically. So they acknowledge each other, they react to various and different stimuli. And you know, when you do a game about a revolution, basically, you have to have lots of people on screen. You cannot do without, right? So it's really one of the leaps the next gen allowed us to take, and it's you know, it's one of those moments where, you know, like, okay, with that technology, we can finally achieve what we dreamed of doing like 4 years ago.
Now let's talk about Arno. Arno is our new protagonist. Here he is, looking very broody. We kind of reworked the control scheme, so when you're free running, tell us a little bit about that.
Right. So you tell it, Arno is a really interesting character. I know the controls that we changed basically comes to the fact that I wanted to go back to the roots of AC. And the roots of AC is our core gameplay pillars, which are fight, navigation, and stealth. And of course, navigation is a huge component of it. So to gain more freedom for the navigation component, we had to make a system which allows the player to go up, which what we had, but it's a bit better now, and also to go down elegantly. You know, beforehand you had to try to find your way through the world, to find a haystack, to jump in, otherwise just like jump and take damage. But in our game, you can just press B with the right trigger, and then you will go down, and the character will analyze the world and take the best path possible to go to the ground level.
What about updates to combat as well? Because I know that's had a bit of a rework.
Right. So the combat is really different. I mean, basically the thing with the combat is the failure state of stealth, right? Because stealth is our main focus. So to have a very interesting stealth, we had to have a very deep combat system. So the idea is that combat is much harder than before, to be honest. And beyond 3 enemies, they're going to start to coordinate between each other. They're going to take a step back, shoot at you. You don't see the ring of fight anymore. It doesn't happen. And really the fight is much tougher with, you know, in-depth control. You can light attack, strong attack, you can dodge, you can also roll, you can counter. So we expanded, you know, the array of possibilities in fight, plus the tools also you can use during the fight system.
Yeah, talking about tools during fights, mentioned in our demo was a new weapon, the Phantom Blade, and a skill like Disguise. So Disguise we sort of saw in multiplayer previously, where you could become the. Is that something Arno can now do?
Yeah, actually the skill system is really sprawling and expanded. The idea is that you play the game and you play different missions, and then you get skill points, and then you can allocate the skills points to a skill you want to buy. Some of them are really, you know, group oriented. So we also have, you know, the eagle sense, for example. The first step is the eagle pulse, which is a circle around the player. And then the second sense is eagle vision, so you see through. But the third sense is communal sense, which you can transmit that information to the other players. So all the systems, or really all the skills that we have in AC, they are expanded, you know, four times to make sure that we have a very strong and solid, you know, in-depth system.
You should probably say as well when we were playing, no loading times.
Right. No. Well, actually, the thing we also wanted to do, it's one of the things again that you want to do that since forever, and now you can do it.
Yeah.
And basically, there is no loading time between interior and exterior. So going indoor doesn't take any time. We talked about landmark and the fact that I make indoor. You don't load that. They exist in the world space. So it was also possible because of the fact that all the buildings we have are on a one-to-one scale. It's a real actual scale of the city. So when you enter a building and the building is made inside, that's how you can do it. I mean, you have to have that there's space being created in the world. Yeah.
Now, how does it work then with co-op? Because, you know, we got friends can come and play and drop in, drop out, but they can't all be Arno. I mean, we can't have 4 Arnos.
Right, it's a very good question, actually. And the twist is that everyone plays Arno. So Arno, you make it your round, so you customize Arno, you give it a different outfit, and the outfit has an actual impact on the gameplay. You buy a different weapon, you have more than 100 different weapons. And the thing is, for everyone, you are Arno, but your friends on your end look like different assassins, but everyone is playing Arno, so there's a little twist in that.
So how does that work then? Because obviously if you play the whole game with 4 people, that's going to be really different than if you play the whole game single player.
Well, we have 2 different components. We have the single player campaign, which is Arno and his personal struggle. It's a generous story of him becoming an assassin, basically, and that's what you play in single player. And then there is another component of the story, which is the story of the Brotherhood. So there is the Assassin's Guild in Paris struggling against the Templar Order, and that's what you get to play with your friends. You can also try to tackle the co-op missions by yourself. It's just really hard. Remember in AC Brotherhood, we had that feature where you could call the assassin to help you out. Well, you can still do it, but now you need a phone to ask your friends, like, come and help me.
Sounds great. So the final question for me, one thing I loved about Black Flag was the modern day bits. They were really well done. We're going to be seeing anything like that?
Well, I cannot enter into too many details about this because we want to keep some twists for the coming month. But it's a really important part of AC. I mean, we all want to do that since the very beginning. And the meta system, so the present, the single player campaign, the co-op campaign, they are all embedded in one system. It's a huge component. I cannot talk about it anymore. But the thing is, you have to see yourself as an assassin being connected to the Animus being your system. So
that's incredible. Thank you so much for your time. This is brilliant. I love Assassin's Creed. This is going to look fantastic on PlayStation 4. Thank you so much for your time. You guys can keep watching my channel. We've got loads more coming up from E3.